When dealing with electrical work, especially in older homes, it's important to prioritize safety and adherence to the National Electrical Code. The described situation involves numerous code violations, including a split bus panel with improper breaker configurations, double-tapped breakers, and a sub-pull fed from a potentially overloaded main panel. The installation of an electric dryer by an unqualified individual introduces further complications, specifically related to wiring size, neutral grounding, and sub-pull capacity. It's essential to document every aspect of your work meticulously. This documentation should include photographs and detailed notes on existing conditions and any work you perform. Explain to the homeowner in clear, non-technical terms the specific code violations that exist. For example, the dryer installation using terminus 2 wire with ground is a violation because it lacks a properly sized neutral conductor and establishes an improper ground. Article 250.6 of the National Electrical Code addresses grounding requirements, and Article 250.24 specifically covers grounding requirements for separately derived systems and neutral conductors. Furthermore, running a 30-amp circuit to a dryer on the sub-pull that is already near its capacity is a safety hazard. The overutilization of a sub-pull is a violation of NEC Article 220, which covers branch circuit, feeder, and service calculations. It's crucial to perform load calculations to ensure the existing panel and sub-pull can safely handle the additional load of the dryer. The dryer's nameplate should provide the necessary information for calculating its demand load. The terminus 2 wiring used is also likely undersized for a 30-amp circuit powering a dryer and therefore could cause a fire hazard. Table 310.16 typically dictates the ampacity of conductors, and the specific rating depends on the conductor's insulation type and ambient temperature. Typically, for a 30-amp circuit, you would need a larger gauge wire, such as number 8 copper, depending on the conditions and insulation. Explain to the homeowner that the friend's work is not up to code and must be corrected immediately. You can inform them, if you like, that they can look for a qualified electrician to verify and fix any issues. Focus on the code violations themselves and the potential safety risks they pose. Make it clear that you are not willing to compromise your license or ethical obligations by allowing substandard work to remain uncorrected. If the homeowner is unwilling to address the code violations and safety concerns, you may need to consider ceasing your work on the project. This decision protects you from liability and ensures that your work is not associated with unsafe or non-compliant installations. Before leaving, provide the homeowner with a written summary of the code violations you identified, along with recommendations for corrective actions. Also, retain copies of all documentation, including photographs, notes, and communications with the homeowner. Addressing electrical issues in older homes requires a comprehensive understanding of the National Electrical Code and a commitment to safety. By documenting your work, communicating effectively with homeowners, and prioritizing code compliance, you can ensure that electrical installations are safe and reliable. The NEC is updated regularly. It's important to reference the specific edition adopted by your jurisdiction to ensure compliance with local regulations. The dryer circuit should have a dedicated neutral conductor that is properly sized, and the grounding should comply with Article 250 of the NEC. This typically involves a 4-wire connection with separate neutral and ground conductors. The sub-panel should be adequately sized to handle the additional load of the dryer. Article 220 of the NEC provides guidance on load calculations for feeders and services. If the existing sub-panel is undersized, it may need to be upgraded or replaced with a larger panel. When evaluating the electrical system, you should also inspect the grounding electrode system to ensure it meets the requirements of Article 250 of the NEC. This includes verifying the size and condition of the grounding electrode conductor and the grounding electrodes. The service panel should be properly labeled to identify the circuits and their corresponding loads. This helps with troubleshooting and maintenance. Additionally, any unused openings in the panel should be closed with appropriate filler plates to prevent accidental contact with live parts. Check for any signs of overheating or damage to the wiring, such as discoloration, cracking, or melting. These signs indicate potential problems that need to be addressed immediately. Verify that all electrical boxes are properly secured and accessible. Electrical boxes should not be buried or obstructed by insulation or other materials. Test all ground fault circuit interrupter receptacles and circuit breakers to ensure they are functioning properly. Ground fault circuit interrupters protect against electrical shock and should be installed in areas where there is a risk of moisture, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. Arc fault circuit interrupter circuit breakers provide protection against arc faults, which can cause fires. These breakers are required in many areas of the home, such as bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. Surge protective devices can protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning or other electrical disturbances. These devices should be installed at the service panel or at individual outlets. Smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors are essential safety devices that should be installed in all homes. Smoke detectors should be installed on every level of the home and inside each bedroom. Carbon monoxide detectors should be installed outside each sleeping area. When performing electrical work, always use the proper personal protective equipment such as safety glasses, gloves, and insulated tools. Turn off the power to the circuit before working on it and verify that the power is off using a voltage tester. Never work on live electrical equipment unless it is absolutely necessary and you are properly trained and equipped. Follow all applicable safety procedures and regulations. If you are not comfortable performing electrical work yourself, hire a qualified electrician to do the job. Ignoring these safety precautions can have serious consequences, including electrical shock, fire, and even death. The electrical system is a critical component of any home, and it is important to ensure that it is properly installed and maintained. By following the National Electrical Code and taking the necessary safety precautions, you can protect yourself and your family from electrical hazards. Article 110.3 of the NEC covers examination, identification, installation, and use of equipment. This section requires that electrical equipment be installed and used in accordance with its listing and labeling. Make sure to follow the manufacturer's instructions for installing and using electrical equipment. Article 314 covers outlet boxes, device boxes, pull boxes, and junction boxes. This article specifies the requirements for the size, type, and installation of these boxes. Ensure that all electrical boxes are properly sized and installed in accordance with the NEC. Article 404 covers switches. This article specifies the requirements for the type, rating, and installation of switches. Make sure to use the correct type of switch for the application and install it in accordance with the NEC. Article 406 covers receptacles. This article specifies the requirements for the type, rating, and installation of receptacles. Make sure to use the correct type of receptacle for the application and install it in accordance with the NEC. Article 408 covers switchboards and panel boards. This article specifies the requirements for the construction, installation, and wiring of switchboards and panel boards. Ensure that the switchboard or panel board is properly installed and wired in accordance with the NEC. Article 430 covers motors, motor circuits, and controllers. This article specifies the requirements for the protection, control, and wiring of motors and motor circuits. Ensure that the motor and motor circuit are properly protected and controlled in accordance with the NEC. Article 440 covers air conditioning and refrigeration equipment. This article specifies the requirements for the installation and wiring of air conditioning and refrigeration equipment. Ensure that the air conditioning or refrigeration equipment is properly installed and wired in accordance with the NEC. Article 500 through 516 covers hazardous locations. These articles specify the requirements for electrical equipment and wiring in hazardous locations, such as areas where flammable gases, vapors, or dusts are present. Ensure that all electrical equipment and wiring in hazardous locations comply with the applicable requirements of the NEC. Article 547 covers agricultural buildings. This article specifies the requirements for electrical equipment and wiring in agricultural buildings such as barns and poultry houses. Ensure that all electrical equipment and wiring in agricultural buildings comply with the applicable requirements of the NEC. Article 600 covers electric signs and outline lighting. This article specifies the requirements for the installation and wiring of electric signs and outline lighting. Ensure that all electric signs and outline lighting are properly installed and wired in accordance with the NEC. Article 625 covers electric vehicle charging systems. This article specifies the requirements for the installation and wiring of electric vehicle charging systems. Ensure that all electric vehicle charging systems are properly installed and wired in accordance with the NEC. Article 680 covers swimming pools, fountains, and similar installations. This article specifies the requirements for the electrical equipment and wiring in swimming pools, fountains, and similar installations. Ensure that all electrical equipment and wiring in swimming pools, fountains, and similar installations comply with the applicable requirements of the NEC. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document, and it is important to consult it whenever performing electrical work. By following the NEC, you can ensure that electrical installations are safe and compliant with industry standards. It's important to consider the age of the electrical equipment. Older equipment may not meet current safety standards and may need to be replaced. For example, older circuit breakers may not trip properly, posing a fire hazard. Aluminum wiring, which was commonly used in homes built in the 1960s and 1970s, can also be a safety hazard if not properly installed and maintained. Aluminum wiring connections can loosen over time, leading to overheating and fires. If you have aluminum wiring in your home, it's important to have it inspected by a qualified electrician and have any necessary repairs or replacements made. Consider installing whole house surge protection. A whole house surge protector can protect all of the electrical equipment in your home from voltage surges. A surge protector is installed at the service panel and can protect against surges caused by lightning, power outages, or other electrical disturbances. Have the electrical system inspected on a regular basis. A qualified electrician can inspect the electrical system to identify any potential problems and recommend corrective actions. Regular inspections can help prevent electrical fires and other hazards. When hiring an electrician, make sure that they are licensed and insured. A licensed electrician has the training and experience necessary to perform electrical work safely and properly. Insurance protects you from liability if the electrician is injured or causes damage to your property. Get a written estimate before hiring an electrician. The estimate should include a detailed description of the work to be performed, the materials to be used, and the total cost of the project. This will help you avoid any surprises when the bill arrives. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask the electrician to explain it to you. A good electrician will be happy to answer your questions and explain the work that they are doing. By taking these precautions, you can ensure that your electrical system is safe and reliable. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is a set of standards that govern the safe installation of electrical wiring and equipment. It is published by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and is updated every 3 years. The NEC is not law, but it is widely adopted by states and municipalities as the basis for their electrical codes. The purpose of the NEC is to protect people and property from electrical hazards. It covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The NEC is a complex document, but it is essential for anyone who works with electricity. Electricians, electrical contractors, and electrical inspectors all need to have a thorough understanding of the NEC. Homeowners can also benefit from knowing the basics of the NEC. This knowledge can help them to identify potential electrical hazards in their homes and to make informed decisions about electrical repairs and renovations. The NEC is divided into chapters, articles, and sections. Each chapter covers a specific area of electrical work, such as wiring methods or overcurrent protection. Each article covers a specific topic within that area, such as grounding or bonding. Each section provides detailed requirements for that topic. The NEC also includes tables and examples to help clarify the requirements. The NEC is constantly evolving to keep pace with new technologies and safety concerns. It is important to stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC to ensure that your electrical work is safe and compliant. The NEC is available for purchase from the NFBA website. It is also available in many libraries and bookstores. There are also many online resources that provide information about the NEC. If you are working with electricity, it is essential to have a copy of the NEC and to understand its requirements. The NEC is a valuable resource that can help you to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards.